dream home. Only on ET Now.
BNSN, India's most watched stock game show, is taking a special class at the
Only on ET Now.
BNSN, India's most watched stock game show, is taking a special class at the Indian School of Management and Entrepreneurship. We're asking a leading market expert to teach young business minds how to excel at the stock market. Catch BNSN on campus, only on ET Now.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the HP and the Economic Times Enterprise Digital Transformation Summit 2016. Digitization in today's emerging digital consumer economy has led to extended reach, improved management, and speedy development and service. This means that digital technologies have a pervasive influence on all areas of the organization, from affecting the customer experience to enhanced productivity. Digital transformation is no doubt changing the competitive landscape, spreading not just to commerce, but to education and other government activities such as obtaining a passport or filing of income tax returns. It is my pleasure now to invite on the dais Shri P.P. Chaudhary, Honorable Minister of State for Information and Technology, Government of India, to deliver the chief guest address.
Today we are witnessing what may be called digital disruption across a wide range of human endeavor. The ubiquitous nature of digital technologies has made it difficult to draw a clear line between what is digital and what is not digital. Whether they are mobiles, household gadgets, or even automobiles, most products have a large content of electronics and digital technologies or involve digital technologies for production. The terms 3D printing, robotics, virtual reality, drones, Internet of Things, IoT. India has been a major provider of IT services to the world. As we see, as on today, India has occupied almost 60% of the export in the IT-enabled services. The 40% is remaining part of the world, and almost we are exporting about 8 lakh crores, and we are doing well in it on account of the fact that we have skilled people in IT-enabled services, we are having engineers, we are having scientists, we are having entrepreneurs. While India needs to continue to remain internationally competitive in the IT field, the domestic market for IT is also set for a major expansion. It shows the vision of the Prime Minister about the digital India. This summit brings together industry leaders, experts, and policy makers to discuss the future of digital readiness of India. I'm sure this interaction will yield new insights and help us shape dynamic and pragmatic initiative by all stakeholders. Thank you very much.
It is my pleasure now to invite on the dais Mr. Rajiv Srivastava, Managing Director, HP India, to deliver his address titled Transforming and Creating Customer-Centric Digital Strategies.
Modern enterprises today will succeed. They will succeed when they adapt to what's going on in industry. They adapt to industry changes, they adapt to marketplace changes, and then integrate new technology into almost their culture and in the way of doing business, in business practices and business processes. And sometimes the word of digital transformation can get very confusing, can get very loud, very big, but at a very base level, it's just about bringing together two things: the power of technology that is changing at a very rapid pace, and then integrating it together with a culture that embraces change. India is really transforming at a very fast pace. And in a very little short time of the next 6 to 7 years, we should become the third largest economy in the world. We should be almost about 6% of global trade. We are 3 right now. And we should be 70% of our population would be middle class. Now that's an opportunity, because middle class has got the buying power, it has got the power of transformation, it has got the power of taking India into the next generation. So clearly we are an aspirational nation, young nation, desire to grow, but these economic parameters seem like very strong, very imperative for us. Yeah. Government has a very strong and a very huge manufacturing process, sir. Very strong drive towards the Make in India. We're extremely committed to it. But I'm going to talk to you about a very democratized, very distributed manufacturing, which will, in my opinion, is bound to disrupt the 12 trillion manufacturing industry in the world. It is not about the printer market size. Printer market size may be 5 billion or 6 billion or half of 10 billion. That's the range of printer market size in that 3D printing capacity. But the manufacturing industry per se, and a lot of you come from manufacturing companies, I know that, manufacturing industry is more than 12 trillion across the world. And the last piece from my perspective is transforming workflows. And the workflow transformation is about, because there is so much of digitization has been talked about, it is almost coming together to say everything digital and everything as a service. Don't buy, use a service, and digital delivery of products, digital delivery of services is really the next avatar that we're going to see in the IT industry. Welcome to the world of digital. Thank you so much.
It is my honor now to invite on the dais Mr. V.K. Gautam, Principal Secretary, Directorate of IT, Government of Maharashtra, to deliver the keynote address.
Optimum use of resources to meet the aspirations of this young population is only possible through the intervention of technology. There is no way you can increase the area of land surface. There is no way you can increase the area of the volume of air that we inhale. It's only the use of technology which can bring us where the limited resources can make us not only feel secure, make us grow and create an identity not within this nation but globally. Thank you very much.
We now have the privilege of listening to Mr. Vineet Goenka, Member, IT Task Force, Ministry of Road, Transport and Highways and Shipping, Government of India, to deliver a special address titled Digital Readiness, Aiding Governance Through Technology.
Out of the 7.4 billion people on this earth, 7 billion people have been covered under internet. They have been covered. But only 5.2 billion people, they carry mobile. And if you zero down, then 1.1 billion people have something which is called as high-speed internet. And the scope is almost around 6 billion people. Where do we stand as a country? As a country, when we're reading 30 crore of us been connected, and rest of us are still not to be connected. Finally, friends, under digital transformation, we thought of this 3 particular part which I would like to talk is the digital infrastructure space. Can we provide services of government to common man, the last man under Antodaya, on his demand? Can he get his birth certificate, death certificate, simple application of passport through his mobile? And that's the whole idea which we have. Can he do things sitting at his home using the simple small mobile in his hand? I would like to thank the organizers for calling me here and all of you to give me a patience hearing.
brought to you by ET Edge.
You are on top of the world with Times Network. And you're watching ET Now.
क्या करें, अब बिजनेस में हर काम टीवी पर एड चलाने जितना आसान तो नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन आप बेफिक्र रहिए, लॉग इन कीजिए www.amagimix.com पर और 5 आसान स्टेप्स में चलाइए अपने एड्स। अमागी, बड़ा सोचो टीवी सोचो।
The whole world is relishing India's finest spices. Why not us? Now in your city, Eastern Spices, India's #1 spice exporter.
It is my pleasure now to invite on the dais Mr. Karan Johar, filmmaker, and Mr. Girish Menon, Director Media and Entertainment KPMG India, for a fireside chat. Title, Digital Silver Screens, How the Digital Evolution Has Helped Transform the Magical World of Cinema.
Let's start with, the core of a lot of this is really the advent of digital cameras and how that's moved away from traditional formats of shooting. Right. How has that really changed how you approach, right? Given,
well, it's the death of celluloid, right? Right. I mean, it's really the term we used all through our formative years as student filmmakers and then as initial filmmakers. We called it celluloid. Right. It's no longer celluloid. We're all digital. So everything is like, we used to wait for a magazine to change, right. And we used to be a big deal. Now we change our tapes. Right. And there's so much that can happen. Everything is a button away. Right. You want to go brighter, want to go wider, want to go tighter, want to go softer, want to go anything. Right. You go digital, you open a plethora up. As the poetic part of me feels shattered with this new advent, because there was a charm in the way you felt the characters on celluloid. And I know there are filmmakers even today that miss that feeling. Right. I just feel like there is something mildly or then sometimes very strongly synthetic about the way the final product is. But it's the order of the day. It's the order of our times. Right. And I know that film just felt, I don't know, it just felt special. It felt rare. It felt like these characters were in a real world and you were connecting to their lives on an organic and an honest level. Right. Today with digital, you just start feeling everything is mildly kind of, there is an artificiality that penetrates through the format and stays there. But of course you can circumvent that, and of course, there are ways and means of even working around digital. Right. I think 3D is a humongous device. And it's great for certain kinds of films. Right. The epic scale bonanza films, the franchises that are larger than life, the adaptations like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings.
Bahubali did 3D pretty well.
Right? All that Bahubali lends itself to the format again. Just doing it for the sake of doing it and adapting to that format for no reason. But it doesn't mean that you need to kind of do what we used to do with it in the year, like when Chota Chetan came out. Or there was a film after that called Shiva Ka Insaf. On the heels of Chota Chetan, where everyone was like kind of trying to come at you. That is gone. Right. That's no longer. Just now you feel the the presence of the characters much like in your proximity of vision. For me, I think it needs to be that kind of film. 3D does not ever going to mean the death of 2D. 2D will exist as the paramount way to see a film, and 3D will be that add-on, that bonus, like the IMAX experience.
Right. One of the key changes in technology which sort of significantly enhanced theatrical distribution was digitization.
Paramount way to see a film, and 3D will be that add-on, that bonus, like the IMAX experience.
Right. One of the key changes in technology which sort of significantly enhanced theatrical distribution was digitization of screens. Right. Just your thoughts around that. While I guess we are at the fag end of the entire process, and we are pretty much largely digitized.
We're largely digital,
right? Yeah. But how has that again, impacted you as a production house over the last, say, 5 years or so?
It's speed and efficiency.
Right.
It's much easier. Steel dabbas don't have to go from one place to the other. I remember, I've come from a generation where I've seen my father take those steel cans, to temples to pray right before the release, which have our film stickers on it, reel number 1, reel number 2, like literally cans. I've seen that happen in front of me. I feel blessed that I've been through this journey of seeing these steel cans that go to temples to now literally chips going into like equipment to see a film. So it's a card, it's a code. We've actually, you could call it that we've been reduced to a code now. We're just like everything else, we're a number. We're no longer a detail.
Right. Post theatrical release right now, and this is I guess where really social media comes in, and the impact of social media, the fact that reviews, views, responses are really real time. Again, as a filmmaker, what does this really, mean for you?
It's very scary because we're the only industry, and I would say the only business where what we do gets judged globally on that morning. Right. Immediately you have like content being filtered through all social media platforms, be it Twitter, Facebook, and other such platforms that are lesser perhaps, but exist. It's ridiculously scary for a filmmaker who nobody else. You launch a product anywhere else in the world, it takes a week, 2 weeks, a month, some months for it to really kind of get some kind of feedback. Here you release a film and millions of people are talking about your work on day one. You have people live tweeting now, so who's watching films anymore? People are live tweeting reviews. I've never heard of something more ridiculous. Because how can you be tweeting about a film while watching it and feel the experience of a cinema viewing? So it's scary, and then of course you have trolling on Twitter. You open your mouth and you have like 3 million people who have opinions who kind of go at you. You have to have nerves of steel to exist in this digital age, to exist in this age of social media. To be on Twitter and be a celebrity, let me tell you, is no fun at all.
Thank you so much, and thanks for your insights and your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Top of the world with Times Network. And you're watching ET Now.
The Fold.
It's about time we provide avenues for people of India to taste the real cuisine.
Our product help medical journeys make safe, predictable and affordable.
You have to go through 7 crore products.
Well, not anymore.
That's fine.
Great, superb.
So let's unlock the vault.
I think you're out of sight.
At this point in time, I'll pass.
I will probably suggest some kind of mentorship or incubation. Choose the group.
Push on the valuation.
You're gonna need all the money.
So make it happen, man.
I'm not on the same numbers.
I think we'll do the deal.
A show where great ideas get inside. Unlocking episode 1 of The Vault. Only on ET Now.
Oh, Sonu, yaad rakhna, haath mein bum. अरे क्या है ये हाथ मुंह बम?
बीमारी से बचने का तरीका
कैसे?
हाथ खाने से पहले साबुन से धोएंगे, मुंह पिएंगे, प्यूरिफाइड पानी पिएंगे, बम साफ टॉयलेट में शौच करेंगे।
गुड हैबिट।
हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर की पहल।
We now move on to the panel discussion titled Digital Transformation for Enterprises, Taking the Step Forward.
When we talk digital, a lot of use cases and examples are more around the consumer sector. So I'm going to take it a bit different and maybe start first from the manufacturing industry. So, Mr. Vijay Anand, if you could share with us, how Jindal has gone about like embracing the digital transformation, and what are some of the use cases or examples that you've seen in your industry?
Since we represent the manufacturing industry, we have been investing into technologies for ages. And Jindal Group is a reputed group, and we are spread across the domestic and international locations. And when it comes to technology, we have huge investments on technologies. But what we have of late found is that it is not the need of the hour that you keep on investing only in technologies. So therefore, we reinvented our digital roadmap. So we have a digital roadmap which is linked to our business roadmap, to our business plan. We have got a IoT enabled plate mill, which is the widest plate mill in the country in the state of Odisha, Angul. We are talking of mobility. So we have got our decision making system available on mobility. We have got a private sector largest power plant in the country where the entire generation and distribution is controlled through mobile.
How much of convergence is between organizations thinking digital and actually implementation on the ground? What are the challenges people face?
If your core DNA is not digital, it's not easy to change. More so if you are successful in the way you are running your existing business. There's always this challenge that if we have been successful for so long, why is there a need to change? And I think this is something which quite often across industry it resonates. So I think the bigger challenge is how do you bring about the realization that what got us here won't get us there? And I think bringing this entire theory into practice is about what is the single common minimum denominator that organization understands. Digital cannot speak a language which the rest of the organization doesn't understand. I think digital has to speak the language of the organization. And as a chief digital officer, when I embarked on this journey, I realized it's not about technology, it's not about augmented reality, artificial intelligence, blockchain. I think we can talk about technology by dozen. It doesn't matter. What matters is how is this going to create shareholders value? How is it going to bring customer satisfaction? How is it going to help organization increase revenue or reduce cost or bring efficiency or make sure that your risk and regulatory framework is pretty much under control? I think the moment we align organization's objective with digital imperatives, digital succeeds in any organization's context.
Would you agree with Deepak in terms of, and in terms of the business kind of metrics that he spoke, which is both on the revenue side and cost side, would that be similar conversations that you're having even from a telecom sector?
Trends that I am seeing as a head of digital transformation for Tech Mahindra, especially on the telecom side, is the omni-channel experience initiatives that are going across all the telco and probably other verticals also, whether it is banking or insurance and other verticals. I think the biggest challenge everyone is facing and where we are trying to help them out is that, as Deepak mentioned, they were not born digital, most of these organizations, especially the legacy organizations. So they had their cores which were legacy. Now there is a big challenge that customers are changing. The millennials demand things very fast. They want personalized offerings, and they do get disappointed if your experience is not good. Design thinking is one key thing which we are bringing forward for all the customers, and it's a very important aspect. Probably going forward in next 2-3 years, almost every IT design would focus on design thinking principles, which is starting from human as the center, empathy, whether it is for customers, whether it is for employees, and then going ahead to define the problem, ideate it, prototype it and test it, and you have to process this very fast.
From a lending perspective, looking at your core business, how do you see basically online lending kind of, contributing to your business, and do you see a challenge from, omni-channel experience between online and offline kind of businesses that you're doing?
We being the financial service being available on a digital platform is quite essential, and that is happening. And also one very, very critical thing that is happening in the digital space today, specifically on the lending side, is there are several fintech companies today who have come up, and they are offering the same services at a very low cost, and also at a time and at a place of the customer choice, and it happens almost on a real-time basis. Now, big players, if they don't catch up to this kind of process efficiency or an offering, then it is quite difficult to sustain, and this disruption is going to be very, very dangerous.
We did talk about IoT, and ATOS is doing quite a few projects. So maybe if you can share with the audience, where is it that you're finding IoT, gaining basically prominence, and which sectors do you think are more open to it?
We are doing a very interesting use cases in the IoT world. The first one, we are very popular, and last 3 years we are working with Indian oil marketing companies. Today we have automated close to around 5,000 fuel stations using internet. The use cases for that, one is related to central monitoring, that is number one. Number two is the upkeep of the equipment at the petrol station. Third is the weight stock management. Fourth, compliances. And fifth, of course, there are a lot of malpractices which they want to track. So all the 5 cases we are implemented in that. Our plan going forward with oil ministry is to go around 20,000 fuel stations by 2018. The most important use case which oil marketing companies want to deploy is dynamic pricing, because the oil prices are changing, and today even if the price comes in the morning, till the petrol station offers it to consumer, there is a big lag. So connecting these petrol stations, they want to go for dynamic pricing. So you can see the potential and the kind of issues a country like India faces, IoT can solve.
Enterprise Digital Transformation Summit focused on various themes like digital readiness and the pace of disruption in India, democratization of financial information, customer-centric digital strategies, and many more. The event culminated on a positive note on the theme of digital transformation for enterprises in India and the way forward.
One thing you can take away from the evening today is there seems like a ton of opportunities right now in India. It's just probably the best time to be in India when the business environment seems like so supportive, there is all-round growth, and growth where India continues to be the top of the emerging market or top of the market, large economies from a growth perspective, almost literally the only beacon of light in the world right now, sir, if I can say that.
Top of the world with Times Network. And you're watching ET Now.
Bringing greed and fear and business analysis together, I think that's what day in, day out Nikun does.
Nikun's key differentiator is that he forces you to come up with a specific recommendation and not just give general answers.
He's among the top guys as far as the analysis of the macroeconomic scenario is concerned.
there is no hiding place for the guy who's being interviewed.
Market opening without Nikun Dalmia, A, is really unthinkable, and B, it will clearly be less enthusiastic than what it is now.
I'm coming to you from the IMF headquarters in